Okay, hello YouTubers. Hadn't been on here and done a video in a while, and just want to do one on my homemade ice maker. Thought about it for a while. I seen there was a video. I think I think it's Kelly's Country or something like that. He did one and did a good job. If you check his videos out, he's got updates and stuff and problems, and he goes through it pretty good about how what happened and why he did this and why he, did that. He set his up pretty good, and from what I understood, I think the last video I seen on his was he was building another. So I'm gonna check it out after I upload mine. I'm gonna check his out and see if he's got any updates or whatever he's done. Because I think he mentioned something he was going to build a frame or something around his next one. So, but I'm gonna check his out. He's got a good video and a couple of good videos on there, and he actually walks you through and gives you good details on how much ice he's getting producing and everything else. And keep in mind too, I think he has his out in his garage, so that's going to make a difference on how much ice your ice makers will produce too. How hard the freezer and all is working, even though I know. Once it freezes, it's there, but it can make a difference on how much it produces because, when you open that lid, it's going to start pulling in moisture. Humidity in the air is going to start pulling in. So let's take a look at mine right now, too. And here's mine. As you can see, we got ice down in there. It's dumping good. I had it open here a couple other times a minute ago, and you can see the moisture. The aluminum, so he's got the right idea because you don't want to have rust. It's really cheap over at Lowe's and stuff. You can pick up your aluminum at your hardware store, and that's good to make your bracket with. You don't have to worry about rust or nothing. Now, I knew he was talking about how he was going to mount it in sort of stationary. Now, I used an epoxy. I know you can see some of this is where I just marked with my markers where I was putting them back as I was taking it in and out, but I used an epoxy under mine. Seems to be holding really good. So that's what I used. And the ice maker was I don't know if I can say the models on here, so I don't want to do that to avoid my video. But anyway, I got it offline. I run my wires through the door because there's nothing up here but foam insulation. I'll let you see my fill tube real quick. You can see it's dry in there. It's got water in there already. It's dry in there. I have no ice building up inside my fill tube. Let me get a towel here because I want to wipe off that from where I'm having this open, because if I have it open too long here, you're just going to get a lot of it. But anyway, let's get back to the freezer. It had a light in it, and I had to take the light out. So just a heads up, if you make one, it's got a light in it, it would come down and hit the bracket. So I had to take the light out, and so it wouldn't hit the bracket. Now, there's a plus side to that. If I feel like I need to put a fan in here, which right now I'm not going to. If I feel like that, a lot of them little fans that you can get have them little similar type plug, just a power and a calming coming into it. I can use that. It's, and it's got a switch, so when you raise the door, the light comes on right here. It's got a little wire running in through the door. Now, that was another thing. I could have run my wiring. I thought about that, running it through the door here and then out. I didn't want to have a problem trying to force it up and have a lot and get it to turn and go through that insulation, which it might have not been really bad, but I didn't do that. I just run it straight through the top. It's no big deal. Ain't nothing gonna be over here anyway. And I just positioned it in where I needed it. So when I close, that's the only wires I got moving, as you can see, and it goes down in between the brackets. And but I did. I run mine through the door, so I didn't have to worry about it. And I run my own cord for my ice maker. I think on Kelly's, he ran his until he changed it and added another ice maker. I believe he run he run his own cord for his ice makers then. So I didn't bother to hook mine up to the ice maker because I got this, believe it or not, for $20. It was manufactured in May of this year. We've got a local store over here. It's like I guess where they get either returns and scratch and dent stuff. And I picked this up. It's a let you see it. there is the brand Magic Shift. It for 20 bucks. I figured, well, if it's scrap, it's scrap. Well, I got it home, put a plug on, plugged it in. It worked perfect. They actually cut the plug off of it, and I understand why they do that. That's, for safety reasons and warranty and all that. Like some of them get them back. If it's a warranty, it's returned. They'll do that to show that, hey, it's been deemed warranted or whatever. But anyway, to walk you through what I did, let's pull it out a little bit. Let you see, there's my solenoid to it. I just screwed it into the frame. The fill tube, as you can see, I showed you from the top a minute ago. What I done is I use great stuff. I didn't see where it'd harm anything. I have no leakage here. You can't feel any cold air at all. I use great stuff behind it, and I just screwed my valve right to the side of it, and then I run my tube, down like it's supposed to be. And I did try to put some great stuff on the inside, coming in from the inside to it. Now, I think I got some up in there because you can't pull the cord out. But I put that zip tie there because I was starting to button it up a little bit, make it look a little neater just in case, I didn't want it to move around. But I think I got some up in there because there's no cold air. You don't feel any cold air coming out the hole. It's a pretty tight hole. And I could have went through the door. Like I said, it was just would have been a little more difficult. So I just figured a hole straight through the door was just fine. Now I got a good seal on mine with that great stuff. I let this sit for a day, and then I come back out and I trimmed it off, to where it get a good seal still. So, and that worked good for me. There's where the dent was. As you can see, it was all crumpled in. Let me step out here. You can see it was hit good. And the vent, it's got a vent on that back side too, because your compressor nozzle's on this side. It's kind of crumpled in right there. And then, let me move this back. Bear with me, fellas. Ooh, I pushed it a little too far. Let me move it back where I had it. And so, with that being said, has a dent in the front. It like I said, for 20 bucks. If it didn't work, hey, I was only out 20 bucks. But I got it for 20 bucks. Now, I had the wiring, whatever I need to do with wiring. Now, the ice maker cost me, I think it was tax and shipping and all, was like $72. I got it off Amazon. So I got $70, $72 in the ice maker, 20 bucks in the freezer, because I was like, wow, for 20 bucks, this is perfect time for me to do this. I got an old one over there. That's a Danbury. It's a good one. I've had it forever, and I've not had a problem. I just didn't want to do this I wanted to actually have a newer one, and just reluctant to buy one. I use probably a bag of ice a week. Summertime's coming. This is going into fall here, and I'm in Georgia, so summertime coming. I might use a couple of bags a week, depending on what I'm doing or where I'm going. But this would be perfect for us. So, with that being said, other than what I have in the ice maker, the $72 and then the $20 for the freezer, the plumbing, to give you a heads up on this, guys, I've got PVC in my home, and it's all PVC. And I've never had to worry about a shutoff valve and all under my sink here. My sink's here, dishwasher's down there. So I went, my dishwasher, you got a valve, and the valve just screws down. You put a fit in it, screws down on the PVC, and you got your T there where you got your line that runs up for your hot water side, and then you got where you can run your line off to your dishwasher. Now, I was buying the same thing for this. They make them where they got the 1/4-inch deal, and then your 3/8 run up for your cold line, and one out to an ice maker. Well, they don't have them in our local hardware stores. They had them for a compression fitting for like if you had copper pipe, but they didn't have them for the PVC. And everything in there now, they're really turning this over to that shark bite and this PEX stuff. Now, it's great stuff. Don't get me wrong, it's great stuff. But I just thought it was really odd. I cannot, it forces you, instead of buying the valve that you need, they didn't have it. So I'm assuming this is going to be obsolete valves that you're not going to be able to get. You're going to have to convert it over to the shark bite and the PEX stuff. So just to give you a heads up on that, guys, anybody that's got, like me, got all PVC in their home and the valves for PVC where they screw on, you're going to have to do a little more. So like I had to. Now, now there's other things you could probably piece this and that together, but all I had to buy was a connector, a shark bite connector. They had a 5-foot sections of the PEX you could buy. So I bought and all I needed was 6 inches. So I bought that, and I had to buy the valve. The valve alone was $25. So I ended up, altogether, I probably got $45 in the plumbing on this. So that between that and ice makers, where most of the money's at in this. Other than that, I had any wiring and stuff I needed. Now back to the ice maker. Mine's producing good. So far, it started running last night. I'm going to do a 24-hour check and see how much it actually produces. But I'm not really too concerned about that. Some might be, some, might not. Check out Kelly's Country. He actually does the math on it a little bit for you. Like I said, he walks you through in his actual builds, and so you can see me. I figured I'll do it, and then I'll just do a video on mine. Tell you what I've done. And so other than that, I mean, so far producing good. I hadn't had any problems with water freezing in my field line right here. Now if I remember correctly, he had an issue at first because they ran the tube straight over into the field tray. I recommend you definitely use that. It's slotted for a reason on top of that. And that field tube is slotted, so you need that slot in there. And I think the theory for that being slotted is air keeps that from, the moist air, any moist air when you open your doors or whatever, that just helps keeps that from building up, any ice building up. But make sure it does have that drain where it runs down in there, not trying to run over. And I think it was a problem when they run the tube over in there, it was freezing up in that tube from that elbow where they had it run over in there. So definitely use that tube. Now, as far as going through the sides and stuff, I did plug mine up for a week. Like I said, it was a scratch and dent. I want to make sure there wasn't nothing wrong with it, wasn't no problem, before I put it in my home. If you open your door after you have it on a day or two, you open that door and you'll see the condensation like I did. If you'll open that door, you can see where your actual coils are inside there. Now, this is your risk. At your risk. I've done figured 4 inches. That's why they even got the hinges for the door mounted within a 4-inch from the top. There's nothing there. Now, at least on this one, I can definitely say there's nothing there. And because the way you can see the coils in, and here's where the moisture, humidity builds up. You can see there, fellas? So that's one of them things, like I said, that's, your call. But yeah, other than that, I don't know if I've missed anything here. I just want to give you a little bit of what I've done. Now, there is another video of another guy that did one too. So check his out. He had the same issue. Now, he built a frame, took his door off and built a frame to run his tubes in and stuff, and he had the same problem. They froze up overnight. He had water in his floor, but he corrected his problem. So he come back, and I think he used the tubes this time to fill the actual tube that comes with your ice maker kit. So, but he made one too. So check his out, and check out his Kelly's Country or Kelly Country or something on YouTube. He's got a real good a few good videos, and he's updated as he's went. Anything he's done, changes he's made, and I think he's made another one. So I hadn't actually went on there and looked. I'll probably look when I upload mine. I'll probably look and see if he's done anything else, because I knew he was going to make another one. The last video I seen, he was giving his to somebody, a friend, and he was making another one. So, but keep in mind, if you do this, you're going to have this in your garage or somewhere out. From temperatures, that like I said, it's going to have a lot to do with how well it performs, just like any ice maker would, even these ice machines outside that you can go buy from, like I've been doing. Just keep in mind, if you got it in where it's climate controlled a lot better, you're probably going to get better results. And that's why right now I'm going to hold off on the fan. I'm going to hold off on that. I really don't see no need in it right yet. Like I said, I'm going to let this thing fill on up before I even start getting any ice out of it anyway. So, other than that, I don't think I missed anything as far as my build. I told you how I did this, and wiring is pretty straightforward. Wiring harness on it's same. You got your ground, and you got your common. You got your hot, and then you got your other hot that runs down. It triggers your solenoid down there. And so as far as wiring, I don't think he did walk you straight through the wiring how he done. But for some that don't know, you got to have a common now. It's going to run to your solenoid down there to your water valve. That's going to trigger that. So with your hot, the other hot coming off, other than your main plug that you do. If you do it like me, I just wired my ice maker up to its own plug, and it's what I did. So, and like I said, check out Kelly's Country. He's got good videos on it. I think he walks you through the wiring a little bit better. How he done what he done, because he wired his in, and then he came back and added another ice maker. So he's got 2 ice makers in his, and I left room for mine just in case I want to, but I think one's going to be fine for us. And he added 2, and then I think he made his own plug then, if I'm not mistaken. He wired his ice maker up on its own plug. So other than that, seems to be working good, and I'll get back with you down the road, maybe do an update or something. Oh, and like with my cord coming out here, I think I'm gonna put a little bit. I think I might have already said this, but I'm gonna go get some good little silicone. I'm going to sand that just a little bit around there so it'll take a good bite. And I'm going to put some kind of a good little clear silicone. But I don't feel no cold air in it. I think when I try to put some of that great stuff back in that door from the underside, I think it actually got some in there. So it might have sealed that up good. But it's just something I'm going to do there. Other than that, like I said, I've it's working good. And we'll come back and see. We'll see if I need to add a fan, if I think I need to. Like I said, right now I don't think I do. I'm happy with this turnout, and especially since I got the chest box as cheap as I did. So I know it's hard to find them. I mean, most chest boxes are around $200. So brand new, just for this size. This is a 5 cubic feet. So. And like I said, you're going to end up with about 100. I think it'll probably hold about 100 because we stuck bags in here at first. I got an old chest freezer in my garage out there, and I brought 8 bags. Not a chest freezer, an upright. It's from 1981. I brought in 8 bags, and it fit in here. So, and them are 18-pound bags. So I'm looking at around 160 to 180 pounds of ice this thing's gonna make. So. To fill it up, and I'm not going to use that much from week to week. I might end up using 40 pounds one week and probably none the next, so we're good. I think it'll be fine for me. But there you go. There's my build on my homemade ice maker. And like I said, check out, I'm pretty sure it's Kelly's Country. Check his videos out. He was, I think, building another. And I'm anxious actually to go back and look at his videos too. And he does a real good job. He done a real good job on it, and he shows you his build through the process. So other than that, that's it. I do recommend maybe only other thing I could say. See, all my door shuts real good. Only other thing I can say, anybody that is doing this, if you're really worried about going through the sides of it, which, like I said, it's on you to do this. And you got to be careful because they have this gas in them now. I forget what this gas is called. It's similar to like a propane, but I forget what it is. They say it's flammable, and stuff. And so it's not like the Freon. So guys, just be careful. And that's why I say I recommend, if you figure yours out and do yours, go through the lid. Now, I was going to run my water spout through the lid, but I thought that was just going to be too awkward there with the water spout, and, anything could happen. It could get broke. It could get hit. I didn't like the idea of putting my water spout through the lid, so I didn't do it. I just went through the side. So, Like I said, I used great stuff. I figured that little bit right there is not going to hurt anything to contaminate any ice. And here, I'll let you look at that again so you can see it. And like I said, it sealed up really good. Let it sit. There's you a close-up on it. Let it sit really good overnight. And like I said, there's no cold air coming in there at all. But let it sit overnight before you decide to shave it. Let it set up and cure properly, and then trim it off. Even before you, like I said, before you even plug it up, let it cure good. Because I think it is a 24-hour cure time on that stuff. But there you go. That's it. I'll let you have another last look in here. See, it's got water in it now, which is already freezing. There's ice already down in there. I think last night it was around, when I actually plugged it up, it was around 12 o'clock. And I heard it dump its first thing of ice about 3. Yes, you figured I'm a night owl. So, but there you go, guys. Thanks for looking. Don't beat me up. Any suggestions, send them in. Send them to me. I'm happy with the comments and stuff. Like I said, check out the other gentleman's that's on here, and he does a real good job. And you can get more info and see how he's built his. And he did really good. I was amazed. He did really good. So, but there you go. Thanks for looking.